We are here at week 1 of KS football season. Today my guest is Jim, manager of the expansion team Wrath of Khan. Welcome to the league.
Thank you.
You got your feet wet with your fantasy baseball team, JS Pizza. How will that experience help you here?
First off, I learned you cannot lose a lot of games. So now I know that I probably should not drop my first 6 games of the season. That would be bad. Also, I have learned to respect everything Chris tells me because he is powerful and all-knowing. Without him I am just a tool.
So what specific aspects will you carry over to football?
Right away, I plan on going with pitching. If there is anything I have discovered, it is you cannot have enough pitching. I plan to draft pitching early and often as they tend to score the majority of the points.
There is no pitching in football, Jim.
You mean there used to be?
Okay then. Moving on. How do you see this season playing out?
I am glad you asked. As I mentioned earlier, I know I cannot lose 6 right out of the box. I did that in baseball and I ended up missing out on the playoffs by 1 game. So this time around I will win my first game then lose the next 6. I will get that 1 game I will need to make the playoffs out of the way in the beginning.
Amazing.
Furthermore, I decided to go early for a quarterback. Joe Flacco is going to be awesome. What is not to love? He plays for a team built on running and defense. I'll never have to worry about an interception. And for the sake of consistency, I drafted Joe Flacco West, Alex Smith. Again his team is built on running and defense, but he's less talented and a poorer thrower than Flacco. That is good because it means that I will never be tempted to start him. A perfect backup.
I see. Why don't you take us through your expansion draft strategy?
Being the new guy in the league, I did not want to upset anybody. So I selected players that nobody would miss. I immediately went to the 2 best teams in the league last year and selected their most dispensable players. So I first looked at the Ghostbusters. I saw Chris left Rashard Mendenhall unprotected. I figure he was at best a 5th-string running back for him last year. He surely would not be missed. And as was true in baseball, a player who is on the bench on Chris's team is good enough to start for my team.
Sound thinking. And how did you decide on your second pick?
Obviously, I went to the other division winners roster, the Skull Bandits. I figured that with Derek Anderson and Matt Leinart duking it out for the starting QB job, he would be tremendously overvalued. And Craig already had Andre Johnson so he would not even miss Fitzgerald. No harm, no foul. And everybody loves the new guy.
Now that your Sundays are going to be filled keeping an eye on your fantasy players, is there anything you are going to miss doing that would otherwise be occupying your time?
Well, Sundays were usually the day I would go down to Chuck E. Cheese's with a roll of quarters in my pocket and hang out. But some of the mothers complained and the Nassau police said I could not go there anymore, so this will fill a void in my day. At least until Megan's Law gets repealed.
You truly are an asset to the league. Well, Jim, we are just about out of time. Are there any topics not covered that you wanted to discuss today?
I would just like to wish all of the other teams good luck this year and I look forward to competing with each of you. In my book, we are all winners.
Fantastic. You certainly will be a welcome addition to this year's Chaos League. I'm certain your team will be among those playing for the NIT Championship in the losers bracket. Good luck, Jim.